to my party. We're just
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to the Armory. Welcome to William Saliba has signed his new deal. He's done it. It's done, official. We don't need to worry about it. I was never worried anyway, but I know that a lot of the fan base was. This is exciting news. So obviously I wanted to do it. Obviously I got the news in about 4 hours, which is going to be different news. I'll quickly cover this, obviously, but I wanted William Saliba to have his own little time because he deserves it. You know, this guy has been impressive ever since we signed him. Went out on loan, absolutely smashed it out on loan. One of probably the top 5 centre back in the world for me. So yeah, absolutely fantastic news. And big up to BX Gunner. Luke, blimey, this is quick. Arsenal have only just announced it. Afternoon, Bobby. Look, sometimes it's nice to have friends in high places. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I guarantee no other journalists have been this quick. So there we go. Look, it's fantastic news. So what we're going to do. You probably can't see me very well because I'm having to be in the kitchen today. So I'm going to add what's been said by Edu and William and Arteta. So. Our French international defender William Saliba has signed a new long-term contract with us. The 22-year-old was an integral part of our 2022-23 campaign, making 33 appearances in all competitions while scoring 3 times and assisting once from centre-back. William has also has 8 senior international caps to his name, with his impressive performances rewarding him with a place in the France squad for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar last December. Our central defender joined us in a permanent move from St Etienne in July 2019 and spent the 2019-20 season back on loan with the League One side. Williams started the following campaign with silverware when he was an unused substitute in our 2020 FA Cup Community Shield win over Liverpool. The second half of the 2020-21 season ended with a short-term loan, which saw William back in his country of birth, which he featured 22 times for Nice, including a first goal in senior football. William then returned to France for the 21-22 season in order to gain further valuable experience, joining Marseille on a season-long loan deal. William played 52 times for Marseille, featuring in 4 different competitions and becoming a central figure in the team. This is what sporting director Edu has said. We are so happy to have signed a new deal with William Saliba. William is part of our vision to keep our talented young players who will hopefully be successful with us for many years to come so that we can grow and progress together. I know the supporters will be just as happy as we are to see William continue with us in the future. Mikel then goes on to say, to have William extend his contract with us was something we have wanted to do for a long time. William proved last season just how good and important he is to our squad. The ability he has at his young age of just 22 is exciting. There is, of course, so much more room for development with any player at this stage of their career. We're looking forward to continuing work with William in the years to come. As well as signing a new contract, William will also wear a new shirt for next season, moving to the number 2 for next season. Williams' new contract is subject to completion of the normal process, but yeah, it's done. It is super exciting, absolutely fantastic to Poppy Ornstein. Definitely no journey. I had zero faith Saliba will commit, so I'm generally surprised but confident in Arteta's vision. Look, this is absolutely down to Mikel, Edu, and Richard Garlick, who never gets enough praise. Honestly, Richard, big up to you. I know you're not listening, but honestly, Richard has been so important the past 24 months at Arsenal. So big up to Richard Garlick. Our chant's going to be fun this season. Timber, Wright, and of course Saliba. Yes, they are going to be absolutely fantastic chants next season, aren't they? I can't wait to actually hear them because I do all the watch-alongs on the Armory. So it's going to be so much fun just to hear all the different songs. And I'm going to guess that the song for Timber is going to be what we expect it to be. Rice Rice Baby is probably going to be the one for Declan, and then obviously the Saliba one, which is just absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. But guys, it's absolutely fantastic news, and I had to do a very quick stream. It's going to be a quick stream due to the fact I've got the Arsenal news later, which we'll cover more when there'll be more quotes, because William will obviously do his interview as well, and that will be released later. I'll just see if it has actually been released now. I don't think it has, but let's just have a double check to see if his statement has been released. No, not yet. He will have his own little thing, because obviously when you sign a new contract, they announce it, do the basics of it, and then the player is actually interviewed as well. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic news. I am so happy. I know a lot of Arsenal fans were not convinced that he would sign. Look, there were 3 big, massive clubs that were trying to sign Saliba. The fact that Arsenal have managed to not only fend them off, but beat them as well, because, you know, you have to fend them off, but you also have to beat them as well when it comes to like how much you can pay. And look, Saliba's going to be on as much money as Saka, more than Martinelli, and I think he rightly deserves it. There is no reason why he shouldn't be getting as much as what Saka is, in my opinion. He's 22. You know, he is a French international, even though the French team don't pick him because they have agendas themselves. Look, it happens. It really does, and it's really sad. But look, we're happy because Saliba has signed. I'm just double checking. There's no actual statement come out from him yet. I don't think there is, but probably later on today when I do Arsenal news, maybe. Mate, Luke, whilst you're on here, mate, I'm going to literally, because I have a system that tells me the player value. It would not surprise me. Okay. He is £55 million at the moment on my system. It would cost about 100 million to prize him away from Arsenal, and more. And to be honest, he is, for definitely 3 seasons, untouchable. For 3 seasons, because obviously it's a 4-year contract with a year option. So if things did not go according to plan, let's say, his value would still be there in 3 years' time. So yeah, he's going to be integral for us for definitely 3 years. There's no doubt about that. I can't wait to see him next season. Obviously, we've got 2 more another announcements coming up. Timber, and it you know what, it could be one tomorrow, one Sunday. Kind of hope it's not Sunday, to be honest. I wouldn't mind Sunday off, but it wouldn't surprise me if one was tomorrow and one was Sunday. But it wouldn't surprise me if they push it into Monday, if I'm honest. But we'll wait and see. Big up to my pod bro. Look, enjoy your I'm going to call it a transfer party, which you're having later. But yes, it is absolutely brilliant news. Absolutely fantastic. It's so good to be an Arsenal fan right now. And obviously I get to do all the news on the Armory, and I get to do all the Arsenal news. So I get to look around and speak to certain people and hear like the actual truth to some stories and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm absolutely delighted with this news. Just so happy, so delighted. You cannot. I don't think there's any fan base in the world right now that is excited as ours, because, and it's rightly so as well, because obviously we've got £200 million worth of players coming in. Havertz is already signed. Timber has had his medical all passed, cleared, and then Rice. And then we're going to have some exits. You know, that needs to be done. But then look at the rumours. We've got Kylian Mbappe saying he'd love to join Arsenal Football Club. You've got Tchouaméni. That's a possibility now. That's becoming more and more possibility. Sorry, Canners, but it's unfortunately true. You got Romeo Lavia. It's such an exciting time to be an Arsenal fan. Yes, we've got the season to, obviously, we've got to perform within next season. But this is the transfer window. Normally, our transfer windows are a little bit poor, to be fair. You might get one good signing, and then that's about it. But this is like constant. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Moss, this is not Arsenal news. I will be doing Arsenal news at 7 o'clock still with Canners. This is breaking news. This is William Saliba has signed his new contract. This is like, yeah. Honestly, I've had the greatest week. I've obviously been able to bring you Alessia Russo has signed for the Arsenal, which for me is like a fantastic signing for the women's football. You had Havertz, you've had Declan Rice, deal concluded, and Timber, deal concluded. It's been a fantastic week to be an Arsenal fan. Honestly, I told you this week would be absolutely crazy. I told you this window would be absolutely out of this world. So far, so good. And it's only going to get better, guys, because, the links that we're being linked with are still being linked with midfielders. We're still being linked with defenders. We're currently being linked with forwards and a striker today. A striker has come up, and it's a striker that clears the decks for another striker to come next summer. It's just exciting times to be an Arsenal fan. Yes. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm just double checking that he still hasn't released his statement yet. They haven't yet, but they will. And I'm going to guess it should be up there for tonight. So I'll probably try and do that tonight if I can. Obviously, Granit Xhaka left. That's, sad times for some people. Honestly, I don't really care, if I'm honest. Great days to be a Gunner. It is Satvik. It's fantastic. I love it, mate. Honestly, all week Saliba signed up is so good. Yeah, great stuff. Stovenberg's still there, but all the best, Steve Round. It's not just Steve Round that's left us, Moss. It's also O'Driscoll has left us. Well, he will be leaving us. But Steve Round is going to another job. So, look, I wish Steve all the best. He's been helping me for the past 4 months with other stuff. So yeah, I wish Steve all the best, and he's an absolutely terrific person, and I wish him all the best in his new job. And yeah, I will definitely still keep in contact due to the fact his new job isn't somewhere that I despise. So look, it's and as Satvik said, it is great days to be a Gunner. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm loving doing this. I have social anxiety. I hate talking, but when I can talk about happy stuff about the Arsenal, it just doesn't get any better than that. It's just fantastic. I'm just over the moon. Look, a lot of people were doubting this one, and look, I get it. I really do get the fear that he would not sign, but it's happened. It's done, and we now move on to the next part, which is the two big signings, which will now happen. So yeah, it's just fantastic times. I just cannot wait. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting chat tonight. Arsenal news at 7 p.m. with Canners. So if you can tune in, Medics, who cares? Dime a dozen, and now I do care, and I'll tell you why I care. The reason I care, he's been with Arsenal for 14 years, so he definitely deserves a kind mention. But what I would say, and the reason why this has happened, is if people remember what Arteta said at the end of the season about reset. Basically, what they've used a lot of data, and I know I've said this on a lot of streams, mainly towards Party, but a lot of things came up regarding this data, and a lot of it was not just player performances that go unnoticed, like sometimes even people can see a good performance. The data didn't back that up. So this is, possibly why Partey's leaving. But also it was to do with injuries, and it was a case of looking at training methods and recovery and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really interesting discussion that was had, and Gary O'Driscoll will be going to Man United later in the summer. So look, we will get a new physio, I'm sure. If not, we'll promote within, because we have got quite a good doctor team, to be honest. But the Steve Round one, there will be someone coming in. I will be talking about it later at 7. But yes, someone will be coming to replace Stephen. Steve Round was special to Arteta coaching. Steve had his own philosophy, same as Albert does. Albert is different to Mikel, and Steve is different to Albert and Mikel. Same as Miguel and Carlos as well, who are the other coaches. So it's very interesting that Steve's going, because that has opened up a space, and there is definitely something that could possibly happen with someone new coming in. So it's going to be interesting. We're at that point where we could be a force to reckon with, and players want to get on board. They do, Satvik, and this is the important thing now. People are seeing what's happening at Arsenal, and look, I work enough within football teams and speak to enough football teams to know that the way that Mikel is not like any other club. The way he does training is extremely interesting. Some people might say call it crazy. I do sometimes. I think some of his methods are mad, but look, it works, and the players get on board with it, and they absolutely love it. So look, big up to Mikel. He's interesting. He's definitely no Pep, and this is why I get adamant that we are not Man City. Mikel definitely has his own way, and it's fun, it's interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens next season. Big up to Paxton. Nothing can save Martial, but we can gain something from a physio. He is a very good physio. He does have some experimental methods, which hasn't worked necessarily at Arsenal, but doesn't mean that he won't do you a good job. He is obviously Brian O'Driscoll's brother, for people that know Brian O'Driscoll, famous Irish rugby player. Gary's going to do a very good job. He's done us a very good job. His experimental methods only came in for the last 18 months, and it just didn't work. If anything, it possibly made some injuries worse. So look, you've got a great physio. He's a very nice guy. So good luck at Man United, Gary. I'm sure you'll do absolutely well. But yeah, now it's a case of we've got 2 jobs but this is turning into Arsenal news, which I should be doing later. But I'm going to check one more time before I wrap this show up very quickly to see if he has released his statement. They haven't released his statement. So I will definitely be back at 7:30 tonight on the Armory. Big up to everybody that's tuned in and watched. Really appreciate it. But we've got Saliba. He's ours for guaranteed, well, let's say 4 years. But yeah, 5-year contract pretty much. But yes, definitely Saliba. Now we wait for Timber. Now we wait for Rice Baby. Guys, I'll see you at 7 for more Arsenal news. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.